Error, error, Brajesh, okay, error. Okay, error. Okay, shall I run it? Okay, I'm just again doing this load thing, and if I click on enter, then it should come error, right? So let's check it. Okay, so I'm getting some error, right? I'm getting some error, right? So I can see the error, like access already been declared. Mhm. So does it make any sense?
Yes, because we can't reassign let values.
Yeah. That's what I want to know. Like once you will assign let value, you can't reassign it again and again. So, so that's why. Like if I will declare where x is equal to 10, so anytime I can change the value of x. Okay, so it will create problem later. So that's why in new thing has come like that is let. So if we use let, so we can't assign it again and again. Okay. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'm just initializing this one. Uh, mm, no, I've
So
done
when
this
we've
one.
defined, so when
What?
we have defined where x equals to 10 at 6, then why we are again that at line number 10 again initializing where? So
Okay,
can't we
see.
like write x equals to 10, 20 directly?
Okay, you are saying we can write x is equal to 20, right?
तो नहीं यहाँ पे अगर where लिखा हुआ है और 10 नंबर पे फिर से हमने where लिखा है तो वहाँ पे where लिखने की फिर से क्या जरूरत x इक्वल्स टू 20 डायरेक्ट नहीं लिख सकते
Uh, कहाँ पे? Just tell me which line.
लाइन नंबर 10
10. Okay, you are saying we can write x is equal to 20, right?
like I'm asking why we have written where again on that line.
Uh, it's not necessary. You can check it. I just gave an example here. So see, x is coming 20. It's not required. Once we can assign, we can anytime you can change the value of x. But I'm saying what is the difference between where and let? I'm just showing you this thing. Like where is more global. Okay. If I initialize it in outside the any function also, it will take that value. Okay. If I x is equal to 30, if I'll add, let's see what will happen. I think it will get error or no. See,
So now why it's not giving error, like it should not written anything as we x is not equals to 10 now. Now we will be assuming x as 30.
see what I have done. See, because I am just showing you the console Z value Z. Z, what it is a Z value is example. What is example? So whatever is in this scope in this braces like 5 to 14 line number, X will execute that value only. Okay. So what I'm showing you, like if I'll change this value to let it will not take because once you assign this value let x is equal to 10, it will not reassign again. So that's the difference. If I'll comment this one, so everybody understand?
Okay. So what's
Like
the difference between that and where?
That's what I'm saying, right? See, yeah, see, where is more global, okay? Let is not global, it is block oriented. So in okay, I'll give you one more example. See, I created this assignment for you only, but I will give you later. Okay. So see, where x is equal to 10. Okay, I've initialized globally. Then this one function. If no, if anybody is not understanding, you can pause me. Okay, if I'll go too fast. But this is very much important. The difference between where and let. Okay. Everybody is hearing me. Any response?
Yes, we are
Yes,
listening.
Okay,
sir.
okay, okay. See, I have initialized where x is equal to 10 outside the function. Okay. So after this, in this function example, what I'm doing, can anybody say? What is this? Let x is equal to y is equal to 20. What I'm doing, do you know? Can anybody want to guess?
Initializing the value.
Source
Yeah,
value.
initializing the value. Yeah, correct. So what I did, let x and y, the value is 20. Okay. Then what I'm doing, if x is equal to 10. Okay. So my question is like, this x value is 20 or 10?
20.
Anybody? What?
20.
20.
20.
Okay. Anybody 10?
Sir, can you zoom your screen?
Okay. Sorry.
Control control plus control plus.
Yeah, actually my system is very slow, so sorry. Not, I don't want to share. Uh, can anybody see?
Yes, yes, yes. थोड़ा कम कर दो. Yes.
System is very slow. Is it fine?
Yes, this is
Yes,
fine.
sir,
Yes,
it's
yes.
fine now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Thanks for support. Okay, let's. So what's my question is like, what is the value of x? X will be 10 or 20?
20.
20.
20.
Okay, let's go through the code. I am just initializing x and y values 20. If I am checking if x is equal to 10, then y will be 30, okay? And return x. So you are saying x will be 20, right? Okay. So I am following this example. Sorry, I don't want this. Sorry, such a bad code. Okay. So what I'm doing, that is good example. So I'm in the console.log, I am just putting the value y and z. So who told x is equal to 20? How many people are saying x is equal to 20? Oh, just say who is saying 20? X value. Hello.
What 20?
Because it is fixed now, like we use let.
Okay. And what is the value of y?
20.
20.
20. 20.
Uh, y is equal to 20. Okay, everybody is saying x is equal to 20, y is equal to 20, right? Does anybody
Yes,
want to
sir.
change? Last time. Anybody want to change?
No, sir.
No, okay. So you are very much okay. It's good. Well, good willpower. So what I'll do, I'll just execute it again. So what is this? I will tell you later how I'm doing this node one later. Okay. Okay. So x is equal to 20, y is equal to 20, right? Let's see what is happening. Uh, Sorry, misses. Okay. So everybody is correct. X is equal to 20, y is equal to 20. Now my question is why? Yeah.
Because let is not global and we are using example function. So anything written below example would be only executed. We won't be using the global.
Yeah. Let is more likely like block oriented. It will if like okay. Let's change the value this one as let x is equal to 10. Can anybody say what will happen right now?
Now also 2020.
20 only. Okay. Let's run again.
And we take why, I guess.
I think some error will come.
Yes, because we are reassigning the value of x. So it will show error.
Yeah. Yeah. Now also it's 2020 because this let is more block oriented. Okay. It will, whatever inside the block is there, it will execute and it will show the, okay, everybody and okay, Anush, you can.
Okay, okay. I'll
So
try.
for this time, please explain again, like you have initialized x plus 20. So 20 is not equals to 10, so how it's returning 20?
Who is speaking? Actually, I am not getting your voice, or my internet is. Actually, I am not able to hear your voice. Srishti, right?
It's not
Anush, can you
entering.
able to, Anush, can you able to hear my voice?
Yes, yes. Your is little bit clear. Yes,
So,
it's clear. I think today it's clear.
yeah, yeah.
Pallavi, can you repeat or you can type it out in chat? Anything?
Or you can type, or
Yes,
Anush,
yes.
you can start, and I will stop presenting.
So I said like you have initialized x as 20. So why it's coming like x is not equal to 10, so how it's returning x as 2020? It
Why?
shouldn't
Because
return.
see, I what I'm doing, I'm calling the example, right? Example function in the set, and I'm just printing the x and y value. Whatever inside this example function is, let x is equal to 20, right? So that it will show only 20. It will not. It is more block oriented. Like whatever inside the block, it will execute it correctly.
Then yeah, you are right, but we have initialized x plus 20, and now we are checking like x equals to equal to 10. So that's the condition is also how it should be returning 20. Like it shouldn't return 20, it shouldn't return anything like this.
I don't know, Pallavi, I don't hear your voice clearly. If Anush, you can understand, then can you
Okay.
tell?
Difference is let is block oriented. Okay, means it can be used in a specific block. Okay, so whenever you define any codes or something like this, if you make an if else block like this, no, here if you make an if else block or something like that, so it works in this block specifically. Like if you add condition here and everything, let works with block conditions. Like it's good with when you have some condition where you have to use it in a specific if else condition. Like if you toggle the dark mode button, then in if else condition it's better to use let and variables like this. But where is more of a dynamic thing, so wherever you use where specifically, the value which is present can be redefined, or it can be changed anywhere
Changed.
anywhere. Yes, so that's the advantage of it. That's why the difference of values may occur sometimes, that if you define this as 10, this as 20, so that might be the issue.
सर नहीं ये नहीं था जैसे उसमें एग्जाम्पल के अंदर ब्लॉक में शुरू हुआ था तो वहां पे लिखा था ना x इक्वल्स टू 20 असाइन किया था
हाँ.
फिर उसमें चेक किया था कि x इक्वल्स टू 10 है या नहीं तो
Hmm.
वहां पे वो कंडीशन फॉल्स हो गई तो फिर जो आगे y इक्वल्स टू 20 है वो कंडीशन तो नहीं मानी जाएगी ना उसके बाद था रिटर्न x तो वहां पे तो फिर रिटर्न 20 30 जो भी x की वैल्यू 20 डिफाइन की थी तो वो रिटर्न होनी चाहिए और y की तो ऊपर 20 थी तो शायद वो हाँ ठीक है आ
वो
गया सर समझ में
हाँ हाँ ओके, वो स्टार्टिंग में ही 10 था, इसीलिए वन इस कंडीशन पे जाएगा तो वो 20 ही करेगा बाय डिफॉल्ट. ठीक है.
हाँ हाँ
ओके
understand.
ओके ओके ठीक है. ओके, अगर इफ एनी वन ऑफ यू डोंट नो डेटा स्ट्रक्चर स्टिल, इफ एल्स नहीं आता तो भी दैट्स इनफ, दैट्स ओके. Okay, what is the advantage of script? What is the advantage of variables in JavaScript is you can give it any data type. If you give it 10.0, it takes it as decimals. If you take 10.0, it takes it as double or float. If you give it as 10, it will take it as an integer. If you use this, if you use quotes, it will take it as a string. If you use single quotes, it takes it as a character. Okay, so depending on whatever you want, any variable can be defined with var or let, any of these keywords. But the difference is that var can be defined can be defined multiple times, where let is defined once and it can be used in block or other scenarios. Okay, rest operations and everything can be performed here also. You can, if you want to check or if you want to perform addition, subtraction, 8 10 into 10, you can do any mathematics, any operations, all of these work fine. If you just take any value, if you do a 10 plus 10, then also this works. Okay, same thing you can do with console also. If you try, if you want to do it, you can do 10 plus 10, all these operations work fine. Okay, it will display values. Okay, what if we add a string, if we add this to a string, if we add this, what will be the output? Anyone?
1010.
Okay, 1010, that's correct. Okay, okay, if we take two strings and if we print it, it remains the same. Okay, so what happens is whenever you take any two different data types also, what it does is basically it concatenates both of them and gives the output basically. Okay, so whenever you use any of these strings, or if you combine, if you take variables and give values to them, you can do the same and you will get the same output. Okay, okay, so anyone how to give comments? Rudra had already given comments. There are two formats of giving comments in JavaScript. How to do that? By default you can do it by control slash.
Slashes.
Yes, two slashes. Okay, so you can define console here. And if you have to write a multi-line comment, then okay, same thing, just you have to use this instead of that, and you can write any comments here. A multi-line, single line you have to use this, and for multi-line this. Okay, these are the two important things also you should know. Whenever you are writing program, always add comments. So that's one of the pro tip, always do that. And secondly, okay, suppose if I define any string, like I write this as hello world, how to check the length of number of words present here? How to check this? How many characters are present here?
I don't know the
Hi.
function in like the method in JavaScript, but in Python we use length of the variable
Variable.
name or
Yes, that's length, but in JavaScript, how to use it specifically? There's that is the same keyword length only, but there's a way.
Dot length.
Dot length. Okay, okay. If we use this, or should we use it without it? Okay, if we do a dot length, will it work? Yes, it directly shows 11. Okay, so whenever you have to check the length of a string or any value or in character, just use a dot length or any of these values. You will get the value for it specifically. Okay, so this is also one of the important features when you have to check the length of a particular keyword present. Okay, is that clear? And suppose we have to define an external script file, how to do that? Anyway,
Source will provide source script src and link the external file.
yep, course script src, and then you can add the location to that particular file. Okay, so if you want to do that, you can do it, but for now we won't do it. And one of the important things, we will have a closing tag here, not like link doesn't have. Whenever you write css, you won't have a closing tag. Always remember that script always has a closing tag. So irrespective if you're defining a source tag, you should always have a closing tag along with it. Okay, do keep this in mind. There are by default some of them generally have single tags, so you might forget it, so always remember this. Okay, anything else, any doubts up till now? Okay, okay, so is JavaScript case sensitive or not? Anyone? Because it's more of a programming language, so is it case sensitive or not? If you define this two, will there be any error or not? Anyone? Is it case sensitive, or if it is, then what's the standard format followed for defining variables in JavaScript? Just try, guys, try.
Is it similar to Java? Like how we define in Java?
No, these
The
kind.
camel case.
Yes, yes. It's same. Okay, so in JavaScript, always try defining it in camel case. Any variable you take, you can define it in JavaScript. Okay, so you have text here. So always try keeping camel case in JavaScript. That's a good habit. It won't give any errors when you make React.js programs. Okay, in HTML it won't be an issue, but when you are learning React, if you are going to learn it, always keep them in camel case. That's a good practice also, and that's what by default defined is defined by JavaScript, that you should always keep letters in this format. Okay, so okay, anyone, how to define arrays in JavaScript? You know, addition, subtraction, everything works the same, so you can try that out. Increment, decrement, all of this can be tried out at home. So if you do a multiplied by everything, this is normal, like just like your any Python compiler, any of these compilers. So that works the same. If you guys don't know that, I can take the session separately. That's why I'm not going into that. Okay, anyone any doubts with this? Any specific keyword if you want to ask, I'll explain that also. But uh, yep, go on.
Has everybody understanding what we are saying? That how to run this program in console? Because you have to also try.
A bit confusing.
Then you should ask, right?
Yeah. You just ask. We'll explain anything. What? Why did you use Node and why did I use this? Anyone? Any? Why? Does anyone know what's the difference between them? Okay, so Node is one of the softwares which we can use to run a JS file specifically. So you type Node and any of the file name if you can define app.js and then you can run it. And you can do that also, but you have to install Node specifically for that. But if you don't have Node, you have to install Node one way or the other anywhere whenever you make good programs. So if you can do that by installing Node, or either you can run it on console, or if you don't have even that, you can just go to any website and run this. In every website there will be console and it will be running properly. Okay, so you can try out this at anywhere. Okay, is that clear? Any doubts up till now? Why console? Why are we using it? So it's easier to understand here as compared to anywhere else. That's why we study with console initially, then we move on to the HTML aspect, because in JavaScript is really complex as compared to other languages. It has a bit higher priority, and it's not that easy to learn as compared to HTML CSS. Okay, so that's one of the tough part. Because of that, we always prefer using console initially. Any doubts up till now? If you still have any issues, you let me know. Okay, so if it's clear, then we'll go on defining arrays. Okay, so how to define an array? Basically you write keywords in brackets, same thing as any other programming language. So you define anything, like we can define peanut butter, then we can take jelly, we can take bread, we can take jam also, but we'll take jam also. Okay, so this is how you define a particular array. And if we do this, what will happen? Anyone? If we do console.log text here, will it print all the four elements, or what will it do? Anyone guess the output?
No, it will not print the elements of the array.
Okay, what will it should show error. What will happen?
No, it will not show it will show the reference of that.
Okay, yes. Okay, so what happens is it shows a specific array. It shows the array completely, but what happens, it defines it in the same keyword format. Okay, so it will define this as this, but this is done by HTML. Okay, so You don't have to worry why this is showing like this. By default the output is this, so whatever input we have given, it will give the same as the output. Okay, and that's why it doesn't do any much difference in the code whenever you use it. Okay, so if you have to print the first element, what we will do?
Dot square bracket 0.
Dot square bracket 0. Okay, yeah, it shows error. Anyone else?
Just square
We will
bracket
be using
zeros.
dot. Yeah.
Okay, if we remove
Just square brackets, no dot.
okay, yes, that's correct. Okay, so always keep in mind, say it works almost same to all programming language. If you have studied CPP, it will be CPP or any of the programming language, it will be much easier to understand, because almost all the data structures present here are exactly similar to the program. Even if you learn JavaScript completely, you can be prepared for competitive programming. Okay, so this is kind of competitive programming you can learn from here a little bit, not in great detail, because we won't be solving lead code problems. So that's how. So basically, if you have to print more elements, you can change the numbers and you can print on specific elements or values. Okay, so how to define if else now? If else you must have seen now. So if you have to define if else, so how will we do that? Is there any syntax specifically, or does it seem like other programming languages?
I guess it's same like other programming languages only.
Okay, yes, it's the same. Okay, so you don't have to worry. Okay, one of the advantages of JavaScript is nested arrays. Can anyone explain what a nested array is?
Array inside array.
Yeah. Okay. Array inside array. So if we define this array, you can make another array inside this. So if you can click, you can define two here, and any data type you can use. I'm just using integer here. You can use any data type. So advantage, you can make nest arrays inside arrays. Okay. With other programming languages, I don't think this feature is available, but with JavaScript you have this functionality. So because of this functionality, there is a specific format, there's a specific type of JS developed, okay, which is JSON or whatever you see, where APIs were created by this format only. So if we save this, anyone, if we save this, what will be the output? Now you can guess. Anyone, what will be the output now?
Peanut butter, comma 2.
Yes, okay, same thing, it remains the same. Okay, and it shows two elements. If you want, you can still go inside and then you can define whatever value you want inside it, and the functionality of this is almost same. Okay, and everything, all of this is also called as a multi-dimensional array. So you have more than one dimension, that's why it's multi-dimensional array. Okay, any doubts, any problems up till now? Any issues how these arrays work? If you don't know what an array is basically similar data types stored together, but with JavaScript you have a functionality to add multi-dimensional values also. You can define different values with each other. Okay. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll explain if else also. Same, if else you define a specific value here and then you have the else block here. Okay, so and if you define a condition here, so if you define anything like text here dot text here of 0, set of 1 should be equal to jelly. And why we use, if you use a single equal to, if you use double equal to, what's the difference here? If you use a single equal to, what will happen? Anyone?
It will assign the value.
It will assign the value. Okay, and if you use double equal to, what will happen?
It will compare the
Then it will come.
values.
Yep. And if you use triple equal to, yeah. Uh-huh. try guessing, guys. Try guessing. This is
Bitwise comparison.
bitwise comparison. No.
Bitwise assigning or comparison, anything, something related to bitwise, I'm sure.
So it will check the data type and value.
It will check the data type and value. Okay, I'll do this. I'll do one, two, three, and you guys can see the output and then try. Okay. Okay, if you take single equal to, it assigns the value, and I think it else also have to use it. Console.log. I'll do high here. Else block. Rest. Okay, it shows some error at 10. Okay, I'll take double equal to. Still it's showing error.
Text spelling is wrong, sir.
Oh, sorry. I haven't seen that. Where?
Line
Line 13.
Line 13. Oh.
The array name.
Okay. Sorry. Yep. Okay, so if we take single equal to, now you can see single equal to, it assigns that value. Okay. If you take double equal to, it still remains the same. If you take triple equal to, it still remains the same. Okay, so what happens is with single equal to is when you assign the value, you double equal to use for comparison, but in JavaScript you can use triple equal to. That's a standard format for comparison. Okay, so whenever you learn React.js or you go into JS concepts, it's always prefer to use triple equal to for comparing if else condition, or if you are making normal compilers too, always try using triple equal to there also. Okay, so that's how it works. But if you use double equal to, there won't be any issues. Okay, so you can use either of them, this will work the same. Okay, any doubts, any problems?
So, sir, there is no difference between double equals to and triple equals to. That's just.
Yeah, there is no major difference between them.
Okay, I will give you one example.
Yep.
Just try and the console if 3 double is equal to 3, what is coming? And if 3 triple is equal to, in quotes 3, see what is coming. Then you can know the difference.
Yep. And what happens if I use 9 and 9 here? Anyone?
Yeah, just tell what is the answer.
Yeah, in this case you can try. What's the answer? Will it go to the if condition or it will go to the else anyway?
else block.
Else. Okay. Anyone else? Try guessing, guys. Else.
Only one is saying yes, bro. Everybody
Yeah,
is saying
yeah, you can give the logic too also.
I guess it's because going to the else, because like double equals to के अंदर है तो string में हम लिखते हैं double equals to में कुछ भी.
it's not a valid answer.
So data type is not same, so else block.
Okay. Okay, so we'll see with 1 and 2. Okay, so if you take, it goes to the else block. Okay, why it goes to the else block? By default, there's no type conversion taking place, hence that's why it goes to the false block. Okay, when you use double equal to, what will happen? Now guess. Now you can guess, of course, what will the output?
If block.
Yep. Okay. Yes. Okay, so it remains in the if block. Okay, so the advantage is you can have type conversion here, so that's why you use double equal to or triple equal to there. Okay, so that's why if you take any value like any other, also you can take any other value with this. I specifically used 9, you can use any other value and check this out. There's no major difference, but when we will learn about objects in JavaScript, we'll get to know this better. Okay, so when we go into JavaScript and strings concept, so you can understand that better there. Any doubts up
Like,
till now?
I didn't get like why it's going in like in when it will be going in else and when will be it going in if part.
Okay, so when you use double equal to, what happens is the string on this side, the string which is present on this side, and the string present here, okay, they are converted directly into strings, are directly converted to whatever data type is present here. Okay, so there's conversion, type conversion present. If you know what's type conversion, anyone can explain what type conversion is? Anyone? If you have studied programming, you must know what type conversion is. Let's try.
In this case, the first line is not defined, right? So the second line is defined as a string, so it automatically converts the first line into string.
Yep. But reverse happens. Okay, so but okay, that's okay. It converts this into string. It converts this string into number. Okay, because of this.
Yeah, yeah.
But the
Yeah, Pallavi,
concept,
see.
yeah, the concept is same.
One,
Yeah, yeah.
wait, Pallavi. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, I will help you to understand what is the difference. Okay, so can you show me the example, Anush? Yeah. So, okay, see. Uh, okay, just tell me what is the value of the left hand side. That is 9, right?
Okay.
Okay, just tell me yes or no. Okay, and in the right side, what is the value?
It's 9.
So when you use double equal to, it will check the value. 9 is equal to 9. Yeah, right. So that's why it's coming to true block.
Yes.
And when you give triple equal to, it will check value as well as the data type. So left hand side 9 is numeric, okay, integer,
Okay.
and right hand side is string. So it doesn't match, right?
Yes, yes.
So that's why it's coming to else case.
Okay.
Am I clear?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Because time is up, so we'll go with this. Today's session will be over, but tomorrow we'll go with the other concepts. Okay. Anything? Any doubts up till now?
The one thing I would like to ask, you have used global, so when like the global का कहीं पे use नहीं हो सकता, तो फिर उसको define ही क्यों करना?
Yep, it can happen. No, if I make a script block here and then after say 15 lines I make another script block, the var value which I have defined here can be used there also. No, why will I define 5 values for it specifically? Suppose अगर हुआ, if I have to use 10 value everywhere in program, why every time to define 10 in this script block, तो एक जगह मैं define कर दूंगा 10 और फिर I can use it anywhere. So that's an advantage.
Yes, sir.
In case of that. And
Six, yeah, if there is some similar data you are to reuse again and again, recycle again and again, then you can use a global variable, right? It will be better.
if mostly global variables aren't used, but
Hmm.
just in case if you want to know what's the use of it, so it's basically when a company makes something like email or password kind of thing, email and password will be used, email will be used everywhere in the program, so that's why they'll define that variable as global, and then data will be extracted through his email always. Okay, so in such cases it's required.
And it depends upon the programmer also, what kind of program he was creating. Depending on developer also.
Okay.
सर हम लेट को भी globally define कर सकते हैं.
Yep, yep. कोई सा भी variable, anything can be defined globally. Keywords ही हैं, they are just keywords, let and var.
Tomorrow I can give you an example.
Yes,
Okay.
actually ये थोड़ा tough है to understand JavaScript. some concepts are tough thoda, तो इसीलिए you have to take examples and everything to understand.
Sir,
Yep. बोलो बोलो.
sir, if let is declared globally as well as locally, then it will prefer the local one or it will show some error because we cannot define let variables again. Na?
Okay, Srishti, then tomorrow we'll give you an example. If you just log in at 7, we'll start. I will give you an example where I
Okay,
can
sir.
help you to clear your doubts.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yep.
Okay, next class, next class.
But still, I'll
Sir, what to
just.
do in second assignment?
Okay, so I've given. It's basically bootstrap assignment. So you can take any template from
Yes, sir.
internet or any bootstrap template you can take, but it should be bootstrap, of course. Okay. Then taking that template, you can make a product based website, any product based website. If you have seen, you can go to any landing. It's just making a landing page or a website like that. Okay, so just try making any landing page or a product based website. I have given two examples of it. You can make similar kind of websites. Basically, a feature section is present. There's a carousel where it shows images of team or images of the product or something like that. So you can refer to examples anywhere. You just search for product based website or landing pages, you'll get a lot of templates.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yep. And Shrishti,
Sir,
you can search
yes.
for block. Why is let used in a block? Then you will be able to answer that better. But still, we'll
Yeah, yeah,
give
yeah. You
examples.
should, yeah, you should
Oh,
also search from your side. Then it
okay,
will be
okay, sir.
a
I
good.
try.
Yep.
Then we will debate.
Okay. Sir, can you delay the time of assessment submission because I have my exams from tomorrow?
Okay, how many of you have exams? So you, if there are many people, then we
Even
can
I
delay.
had exams.
Okay, two of them, and Akansha also has it. So three. Anyone else? So if you have exams, we'll delay it. No problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'll delay it by around 3 days, 3 4 days, or more than that.
Yes, I'll delay it.
Okay, I'll increase the time then. No problem. Okay, I'll do that in Discord's message, and you can see that after this call. Okay. Anything else? Any doubts other than this?
Just like where can we also use let to define different data types, like in double float.
Yes, kind of, but not that much. That much. You will not get that much flexibility with it. The disadvantage is that. But yes, it can be used the similar way. Yep. All the properties remain same. The only difference is that lock thing, which we explained.
Okay, so next class I will just give you a difference between where,
And let
let, and
const too.
constant.
Yes, constant also. Yep.
Small example.
It's because this is a difficult concept, so we'll take all three of them, and then give a difference also, so you'll understand it better. Okay. Anything else, anyone? If you don't have, you can leave.
Sir, I have a doubt
Yes.
in Bootstrap.
Yes. Yes.
So how can we make the background image responsive?
Okay. There's
Like
something called
if we
as.
give an image in the div tag, so how can we make that responsive?
Okay, if you refer to docs, there's something. If there's something called as image fluid, img fluid. So what happens is, if you define that class inside keyword. So I'll give an example in chat. You can see.
Okay.
Mhm. MJSRC class image fluid. This what this says is, according to the size or according to the column or whatever you have defined, it will change automatically and be fluid. Or you can use columns also. You can use columns also. But in case if you have a very big image and you don't want to, it's in the center of the page or something like that, or you have defined it using columns and everything, use image fluid and it won't change accordingly. Suppose if you reduce the size, it will automatically be responsive. This class is specifically used for fluidity.
So, but if we give in the div tag Like we give it as a style and background image, then
No, it's preferred to give it in the class for image only, because this characteristic is working only with image. Okay, so you have to define this as image src, then the link, then the class image fluid. In div you can make columns and everything, you can do all that things in div, but if you have to make this responsive specifically, you have to define a class img fluid and the image will be responsive. I think the
okay.
width will be 100 percentage and height will be automatically adjusted, so that's how it will work. Okay,
Okay, thank you, sir.
welcome.